Okay, we are all set up, so let me get this race started. Just waiting on the countdown. Basically routing World 1, World 2, you're going to be looking for the, like as I said, anti-barrier and bracelet to get into Exdeath's castle. A lot of times, people will start here. This is Tycoon Castle. This is the pretty much most runners will start here. Check these quick checks. There's a lot of checks in Tycoon Castle, and you're looking for some early power Gale Bow. That's a pretty neat item. It can proc X-Fight without the X-Fight command by chance. So what we're looking for is some early strength so that we can start getting some levels, killing some bosses. There are also 5 hints in each world. So one of them here is in here in Tycoon Castle. It's the Chancellor will give you our first hint, which is another reason why a lot of people will check this first. But there are different types of hints. There are Path to the Void hints, which are, if you're familiar with things like, Ocarina of Time randomizer, it's, similar to Way of the Hero hints, things like that. So what Path of the Void means is it's going to lead me to a tablet in some fashion. It may be behind a chain of key items, but it will eventually lead me to a tablet. So with our ship graveyard being Path of the Void, that is one of the earlier checks to do. So we're going to go ahead and head there shortly. But we're going to make a quick pit stop here in Tool to check and see if we've got any good classes. Berserker is a decent class, can provide a lot of early power. So we're going to be moving through here. There are a lot of checks in Tool, and this also provides us with one of our first Tier 9 checks, which is Monster in Box. Checks are always high tier, so you could potentially get some really good items. And you also do get a little bit of experience. We got the Brave Blade, which is very good. Notably, though, we do start with Samurai, which has one of the best abilities in the game called Guild Toss. That more on that later, but with an Ogre Axe, we also have a ton of early power now that we have Berserker. So I'm going to switch one of my jobs over to Berserker. Second. So to explain jobs and abilities, so as you can see, you can purchase some abilities in shops. They are also randomized with all of the items in the game. And different types of abilities have different levels of, you could say, skill. So let's just say, for example, Magic Sword 2, we can only cast certain level of Magic Sword spells. So Time 3 is good to have because it gives us access to haste if we do find it, as well as I'm buying Equip Sword so that I can equip that Brave Blade, one of the strongest weapons in the game. So we're going to switch over, and now since we found Equip Sword, normally that is taught by the Knight class. However, we can equip it on our Samurai because we bought it in a shop, so we don't have to train that from the Knight. Now, if we did find Knight, we could still train Equip Sword off of that, but they are also scattered about the world in random checks. So we're going to finish up Tool here, and there is another hint here in the house, in Zock's house. So we're going to go ask Zock what's going on. Steamship Key is in World 3. So we're going to keep note of that. It may or may not be required, but if it does turn out that we are looking for Steamship Key, we at least know where to start looking. So now I'm going to save here, just in case, because Final Fantasy V can be a little bit rude sometimes, and you can certainly get bosses that are a bit more difficult than you initially expected they would be. Now, this should be a relatively easy check, especially with Berserker, with the Ogre Axe and the Brave Blade will do quite a bit of damage. And this is not now a relatively easy check if our Berserker happens to attack Gogo and does not kill him. So this fight you can do one of two ways. You can try to kill Gogo, but Gogo will get very upset and start countering with Meteor. So normally you just stand here and wait. But we have Berserker, so the Berserker waits for no one. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Well, yeah, we're gonna put the Berserker to sleep. So now we have to kind of fight, but you know, we'll reset this after I die, and we'll do it the Gogo time, the Gogo way. So this is why save often is a good strategy here. So we can't have Berserker on for this fight, but you know, Berserker aside, this is a free fight. So we're gonna go back to Samurai, and then we're just gonna go back and do it the intended way as far as Gogo is concerned. Now, if you do enough damage, you can brute force it and kill Gogo, but usually Gogo will kill you first. So now we're just gonna sit back, relax, and learn how to be a mimic. But this is Torna Canal, so Ship Graveyard is going to be our next check. Accessing Ship Graveyard requires going through Torna Canal, fighting this boss, and then the next boss will have either a tablet or an item that leads to a tablet. So we're just gonna sit here and wait for a couple of minutes for Gogo to tell us that we have graduated from Mimic School. And if there are any donations at this point, this would be a good time to read them.
Well, we will say hello to the world's greatest mimic. Hi, Gogo. The donation train is currently waiting at the station, waiting for people to fuel it up right now. But, of course, thank you to everybody for watching the FFR Rando Marathon. We appreciate all y'all being here throughout this weekend, and I hope y'all have enjoyed all the great runs that we have had so far. They've been pretty dang fantastic, so it is great to have y'all here. We definitely appreciate it. We are supporting the Liam Foundation, LGBTQIA+ organization based out of Rockford, Illinois. They do a lot of advocacy and support for the LGBTQ community and do a number of local and online events to help folks in that capacity, which is fantastic. We are very proud to be supporting them. And if you do donate, you can win some great prizes. The medium display is the day prize. The Pixel Remaster Steam Bundle is the prize that is up right now for a minimum $20 donation. The medium display is $25 all day. So all of those are fantastic prizes, definitely well worth supporting. And also, if you're not able to give, if you are in a financial position where you can't give money, don't worry. Just you can support us, obviously, by viewing. You can support us by signal boosting. We definitely appreciate all of it. And now that Gogo has done all of his waiting, I'll go ahead and throw it back to Jetters for the commentary. But yeah, definitely thank you all.
Yep. So we have now graduated from Mimic School, and we will now be able to proceed. Gogo is going to X-zone himself out of existence, and we can be on with our day. Right, so we're going to go ahead and switch back to our Berserker now that we have bypassed one of the bosses that is very Berserker unfriendly. There may be another boss that, who knows, could pop up, but since we learned Evade, might as well equip it. The other boss that we might show up is Omniscient. Omniscient is usually one of the endgame bosses in the Fork Tower. You learn Flare from Omniscient, and however, the gimmick with Omniscient is if you do any physical attack, if you do anything that isn't considered magical attack, then Omniscient will counter with Reset, and you just start the fight over. So that too is also Berserker unfriendly, but we're at least hoping that it'll be a little while before we see Omniscient, so that we can get moving here. But so we're gonna do these few checks here, get a few more items, but we're really at this point going to be looking to boost our levels pretty quickly, so I'm going to save here just in case. But yeah, the next goal in mind is to boost our levels off of one of the... There are a few bosses that have low health and are pretty easy to kill. Once you get a few levels, if you get some powerful items, or if you get any instant KO or petrify spells, sometimes that can work as well depending on the boss. A lot of bosses in this game are vulnerable to some kind of gimmick, which is what makes this game kind of fun, because there's a lot to learn in terms of all the boss weaknesses and things like that. Stuff you never really thought was possible in the game. So we're just gonna brute force this one, and since we don't have any of those gimmicks available to us just yet, and looks like we're gonna have Fizzle go down, but don't worry, there's plenty of butts left.
While the butts are trying to kill the turtle, may I sneak in another donation?
Sure.
All right, Zedair donating $20, saying, "Love FF5. What are the runner's favorite jobs?"
Well, speaking for myself, my favorite job is probably Blue Mage. Blue Mage is one of the most powerful jobs in FF5. And there we have our bracelet. So that's going to allow us to access the upper floors of Exdeath's castle. However, we still do need a way to access Exdeath's castle entirely, which we'll be looking for the anti-barrier for that one. So since we're nearby and I needed a heal, we're just going to check Wind Shrine really quick. But we're going to move on to doing some more highly rewarding bosses in terms of XP. So, but yeah, back to Blue Mage. Blue Mage is a very powerful job. with spells such as Mighty Guard, White Wind. White Wind bypassing Reflect is incredibly useful, especially if you need to have your party set up with Reflect active. And this is another kind of NPC fight with a gimmick. This is Golem. All you need to do is kill the the first two the undead dinosaurs, but since our Berserker has no chill, they're going to go ahead and kill Golem as well. If you wait for Golem to begin speaking, Golem will you will get Golem as an item, and you can have him as a summon. But in this case, since our Berserker again has no chill, we kind of lost the ability to get him from that particular boss fight. But we can find Golem in other places. But Wind Shrine paying off pretty big, having some pretty big items in there. So very exciting to see things like the Night Class, Life 2, X Zone. So we're doing pretty good. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to one of the high XP rewarding spots here. Normally this is you fight the boss Poroboros here, which is the 6 bomb enemies. But today we'll see what we get. This fight will reward us with plenty of XP to get us to, it'll get us perhaps 10 levels. And we should be able to brute force this boss. However, it may be a little close. Galura is not the nicest boss in the world. So, looks like we'll have to just have our first butts be the attacker. The boss has about 1500 HP, so should be relatively easy. Galura does counter, so we just want to avoid doing any kind of unnecessary attacks. However, the Berserker going down. Looks like looks like the main butts is going to get all of the XP, so that's going to put him at about level 20, which is fine. Would have preferred to have more XP split across the other party members, but we'll go get some XP somewhere else.
Can I sneak in another donation?
Go ahead.
All right, Lily donating $10. Good luck to Alistair and Jetters. Pray for no Fork Tower and count the times Linda gets poisoned.
Yeah, Fork Tower, not the nicest of places to have difficult bosses. But we'll get to that one. Well, maybe we'll get to that one later. So right now I'm checking Waltz. There's another hint here. So we got Ancient Library's Path to the Void. So we now know that Ancient Library is going to lead us somewhere. However, there are 2 bosses there. One of them is currently accessible with what we have, but the second boss we will need key item Ifrit's Fire. So we're going to be looking for that perhaps. However, there is a hint available. Just stopping here to check the hint, but want to show one of the features of the randomizer is the Warp Shard, which will allow you to quickly exit any area except for certain areas that for technical reasons the game has been designed to restrict you from using the warp shard at that time, such as when you are on Zez's fleet during the attack on Excess Castle, where you would fight the third instance of Gilgamesh. Will not allow you to warp out in situations like that, so that there's no bugs encountered. We're also going to check now the Sealed Castle of Kuzar. There are 12 items here, all of them high tier items, so we're gonna definitely take our time, window shop a little, and see what can we find. So we find Black level 6, Summon level 5, both the max ranks, Time level 6. That'll give us access to X Zone, which we have. Let's see. X Fight, very good ability there. Sage's Staff. Holy Lance. Holy White Magic. Okay, so we have White Mage, so we're going to go ahead and grab this. If you have the job, it does not matter what level of magic you know. So, for instance, Holy does require White level 6 to cast. However, if you have that job and you have the job equipped, then you will be able to cast any level of magic, regardless of if that character has learned the various levels of white magic through that class. So now we're going to head out. We've grabbed the Sage's Staff because that is going to boost our holy damage. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and head over to have another boss fight over here. This will, hopefully, our characters will survive this one, because we do want them to get some XP instead of funneling it to one of the characters. Alright, so gonna take a rest in the inn, revive everybody, do a little shopping. There are a few items here and a hint, and then we are gonna go take a step outside, throw down another save. Break Sword, very good, very useful. Lots of uses in terms of being able to dispatch bosses instantly and quickly. We do have White Mage, so we're gonna go ahead and grab some White Mage spells. There are a few shops here, so we are low on money though, so we're just gonna try to grab what we need as opposed to anything that could be useful later on. Kind of want to prioritize stuff that you can use. Haste and Float, very, very good spells. I believe I will buy Dispel. It can be useful in certain instances, so it is a high price, but it could be worth it depending on what bosses we run across. So, Excess Castle's on the Path to the Void. There are quite a few bosses in Excess Castle, so we're going to have to go ahead and probably check all of them. Because we are not sure on what that refers to when it says Path to the Void. We know it's not the anti-barrier. We already have the bracelet. So it's gonna provide us with a way to get a tablet. But that doesn't mean that we can't find any other tablets there. So we found some good stuff here. Slash, another very good ability, which also is learned from the samurai, does instantly kill. It has a chance to AoE instant kill enemies, so we are going to equip that on at least one of our characters here, and then we're actually going to change this Butts' job to White Mage because we have the Stage Staff, which boosts the spell Holy, and then going to also give them Time Mage, which will allow them to cast some haste spells. But just to be safe, we're going to take a step outside, save, and we're going to fight this boss here. This is the Abductor fight, normally fought by Butts alone, but which is why the HP pool is so low on this boss. But we have a full party, so at the very least, they have more targets to pick from. And this is an alright place to find Catastrophe. We're just going to try to brute force this one. We don't have any restorative items just yet, but of course we miss. Let's just cast Holy. We only got enough to cast one, but that should be enough to kill Catastrophe here. So, down goes Catastrophe, and we got a little bit more XP to go around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and clean up all of the hints that we're missing. So, going to head back to World 1. And we're going to start checking all the hints. We know that the library is on the Path to the Void. So we may as well check the one boss that we can over there, because we're going to grab a hint. And it's not too terrible of a boss to reach, so if we're lucky, we will get the key item that we need. That's another type of hint that we just received, where basically it's going to tell us, you know, mountainous areas have no key, no good items. So we know that a few places are going to be useless to check, so we shall be skipping those, since all that we're going to find there is equipable items or abilities. Caliphisteri, this is a boss that can be a pain. She does have a counter with Drain. Normally found in the Void, one of the first bosses you fight in the Void. But since we have Holy and Brave Blade, this spot has a low amount of health as well, so we're able to take care of her quickly. Adamantite. So that one will get us access to the Flying Lonka Ruins, which could be the chain. It could be, as I said, Path to the Void hints. It could be a chain of items. So there are two bosses in there to check. So there could be a key item on one of those bosses that's going to lead us further down a chain, or it could be a tablet. So that's where we're going to head next.
Mind if I sneak in a donation?
Go right ahead.
Alrighty, a $20 donation from Christina Vanessa saying, "Go Jetters, love the commentary." Well, thank you very much, Christina.
So when you get the Adamantite, it allows the airship to give an up ability, which will take you up to the Flying Lonka Ruins. Now, Carbuncle here is normally has Reflect up by default. However, Carbuncle will cast 3 spells and then remove Reflect to heal up. However, and during that time is vulnerable to break. However, we don't really have that available, so we're just gonna keep attacking away, and should be fine, except if Carbuncle casts Doom. Of course, I open my mouth and say should be fine, and see what happens. Alright, so that was our last save. Actually, yeah, we can redo this fight. Not a big time loss, but we do have knowledge of what's going on here. So we can reconfigure our party for much greater success the next time we fight Carbuncle. Also do need to do a little bit of shopping. Because it could be some softs could be useful at this moment. So, in case you like Catastrophe, there's Catastrophe again. But hey, at least this time around we got the XP split amongst more people. So that's always a good thing. All right, so. Back to World 1. Head to the library, get our Adamantite. And, yeah, so, as I said before, there are 5 hints. We have checked 3 of them so far. So that is, what we're going to do is, we're going to go around and finish up all of the ones in World 1. And then we're gonna go do some checks after the Adamantite, the Flying Lock of Ruins. We're gonna do some checks in World 2 as well for those hints. So, again, what we're looking for those who are just getting here, we're looking for, right now, the anti-barrier, at the very least, so that we can get inside Exdeath's castle. Without that, we will not be able to progress to World 3, which is where the Void is opened up. So, we will need to get to World 3 to finish the game. Alright, we are back where we were, Caliphisteri down. And now I'm going to check to see if we do have a magic sword level that we had picked up that can allow us to cast Break. Because we did pick up Break Blade. So let us take a look here. Magic Sword 5, yes, so we can cast that. I'm gonna swap out for Knight, and we're gonna Magic Sword. And I'm going to actually flip-flop my equipment a little bit. So that I can do what I need to do. So, okay. We're gonna save this time. And hopefully our person with Magic Sword, I did equip that, right? Yes. Does survive, because Carby could choose to attack the wrong person. So we're waiting for 3 spell casts. And of course, but Didn't wait long enough. There is a little bit of a delay, but that's fine. I'm going to just use that as an opportunity to reset anyway. Sometimes you do have to kind of rely a bit on RNG for some boss fights. We do have life available to us, so that we're going to make utilization of that. And so one more spell cast. Alright, so we're gonna wait a little bit. We dispatch Carby using the vulnerable window when she does go to heal herself. So we picked up a shrine page for our troubles. Do not have any good restoration items. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this time to go shopping a little. That may be our intended Path to the Void item. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look around in Karnak at some of these shops for some restorative items, and there is a hint here as well. There is also a secret shop that that does get opened up after you find the steamship key and complete the steamship section. Does open a third shop in the weapons and armor shop. Sometimes can lock things like elixirs and stuff like that. Most of the items, the basic consumable items, should be available in World 1 at any of the various World 1 shops. But sometimes if that secret shop is where it lands, it can lock certain more powerful items away. Elder Branch is in World 3, so that's another one that we're going to have to keep in mind. May or may not be required. We have a few more shops to check around here. Do need to get some consumables here relatively soon, because it is getting to be a little bit of a pain without having them. So if you have any donations or anything like that, it's a good time.
Well, the donation train is parked at the station again, but I will say thank you all for joining us. We are taking donations for the Liam Foundation here at the FFR Rando Marathon. And for folks who may have just joined us, the Liam Foundation is an LGBTQIA+ organization based out of Rockford, Illinois, whose mission is to encourage, assist, heal, and empower the LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. Some of their notable events are in-person and Facebook Live meetups, regional events such as the Steampunk Fairy Tale Queer Prom and the Rockford Rage Roller Derby fundraiser, which are upcoming, in addition to the Rainbow Book, which supports and identifies queer-friendly businesses and community partners. They are, of course, available at theliamfoundation.org is their main website, and we are definitely happy to support them. The marathon has gone fantastically so far, and we hope that y'all will continue to support us, whether through viewing, signal boosting, or donating. All of that is very much appreciated, and we thank you all for what you've done so far.
Alrighty. So, as I said, we're just this is the last shop I'm going to check here, and then I'm going to move on to do some World 2 stuff. Revivifies is what I was looking for here. Revivifies can be a powerful mix ingredient. Mix is an ability that is taught by the chemist, and it has a lot of powerful abilities. You combine two items and get a certain effect depending on what two items you combine. Revivify has a few different mixes that you can use, but one of the more important ones is a Revivify and an Antidote, which is called Samson Power. This will be key for the end game because Samson Power, what Samson Power does is it raises your character's level by 10 levels for the duration of combat. Once combat is over, it does reset the levels back to where they were when they started, but you can pump your characters up to level 99 during combat, which will make things like Guild Toss do a lot more damage because some of the calculations are based on levels. So I am going to stop at the end here just to get a quick rest in. So yeah, now we're going to be looking for that those antidotes and the mix ability, of course. But there is another one that does increase your levels, but is a bit harder to do reliably since it does require Dragon Fang. Dragon Fang is a rare drop from any kind of dragons, but you usually do not fight random encounters in the randomizer. Now you are able to, if you so choose. There is a setting in the menu to turn on random encounters, and there's also every step encounter. So I'm going to take a look around, but we're going to look to buy Chemist here. There's also a hint in this. Mirage Radar in World 3. Mirage Radar is a very desired item because it gives you access to Mirage Village, which has very high tier items in the shops. So you're looking for the Mirage Radar so that you can get access to that. Now, if the check I just did, you have a choice between two items, and if you are so inclined, you can reset and try the other one. Now, I'm not going to do that. I love to live life on the edge and deal with my choices. So we're gonna go with what we got, but Black Mage Crystal is a nice reward, so I'll take it. All right, so we're gonna have to sell some stuff. But we want Chemist. That'll teach us some mix. So we're gonna give you Chemist, and then we will put Slash. Not much equipment for the Chemist, but the point is they're going to be Chemists for a short amount of time until they learn Mix, and then change back to a job that's a little bit more useful. Chemist in its own right is pretty. It can be pretty useful. Does have access to the drink command, which does. There are special drinks that you can buy as consumables that will increase your stats. But overall, there are class jobs that are more ideal. So slow 2 is okay, but I don't have the money for it, so not really pressing at the moment. to grab that. So I'm gonna skip that for now. We have already checked these shops. Some shops are duplicated in their respective worlds. Walls Tower is on the path to the void. Okay, that's a good hint. That means we're gonna have to find the Walls Tower key. Now that could be in pretty much any place. So we're gonna continue on checking our hints, but we're gonna keep in mind that is Path to the Void. So if we do get the Walls Tower key, we're definitely gonna head straight there. So there are just a few checks in here, and mainly we're coming here for the hints. Hints in this game really do shorten the playtime. You know, there are some places that you can just straight up skip. We actually do want to buy a few softs, just in case we do get petrified. Break black magic is okay. Shell, we do want that. So we're going to go ahead and sell something to get that one. Shell is a very, very powerful white mage spell. Shell being the protection from, you know, it has magical damage, and the physical version is protect, but Final Fantasy V has a even better option available in the white mage job called image. Now protect is okay, but image is way better. What image does is it gives you 2 stacks of essentially you cannot be hit by a physical attack. Your character will appear to have multiple copies of themselves, as if it was illusory, and if an enemy tries to attack you physically, it will just expend one of those charges, and you will take no damage at all. So image is superior to armor, the physical protect spell, but if armor is all you have, then I guess it shall suffice. Alright, so we're gonna ask these fine NPCs for a free item as they are dancing around in circles. Force them all out of chaos, ruin their good time. But we're going to talk to Kelgar. Kelgar's going to tell us something we already know. So, Ship Graveyard holds the bracelet. Good information to have, right? A couple more shops to check. And then we're going to get back on the road of doing some boss checks. Weapon and armor shop is one of these is unique. Okay, damage floor, that is a geomancer ability that allows you to ignore damage tiles on the floor, such as poison bushes on North Mountain, lava in Exdeath's castle, or the trench. So can be useful, but we have float, which can also bypass those things, so we don't need to purchase that. How are we doing on health? We're good. Alright, we're all healed up, so let's get back to checking some bosses here. We need to find a few key items, so we're going to head around. This is a pretty easy boss check, low health spot. Underground waterway, so I think that's where we'll start. Scare the Moogle, he's gonna fall in the hole, and we're gonna go down there and help them out. Now, we will probably go back to World 1 after this. There's not a lot of World 2 checks available without key items, and we have almost none of them. We found our first Greg. This is Gilgamesh. There are 4 fights in total that you'll fight him on. This is Greg 2, also known as Jump Greg. When you get him low on health, he will admit that he can't fight 4 people all at once. So he will now start to buff himself. This will always happen regardless of if you one-shot him or not. And he will go through this sequence of events and then start using Jump. So we're just gonna try to dispatch him here. Greg, not too difficult here. This spot, again, doesn't have a ton of health. We may even do a guild toss, even though we don't have a whole lot of money. And now Greg will tell us he remembered some urgent business, and he'll be back. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll see him again. Gold armor. In scripted fights, though, generally no XP is awarded, so we kind of walked out of there empty-handed. So we shall go back to World 1 and do some checks there. There are Meteor checks that we can do. So that's where I believe I'm going to start. I do want to heal myself up here first. So we're going to go here. We haven't checked these shops yet either, so we'll take the opportunity to do so. Alright, let's see if we can find those antidotes that we were looking for. Thunder Scrolls. Scrolls are good to keep around just in case you do get the throw ability. They can be very useful, especially if you have bosses that are susceptible to certain elemental damage. You know, sometimes it can be even almost a necessity if you're lacking any kind of good damage in the early game. So we're gonna leave here and we're gonna head over to start knocking out some of the meteors. This is normally where Adamantite is fought, but since we already fought the turtle, we're going to see what boss is here. Most of these bosses should be pretty easy, close to one-shottable with the equipment that we have. And there goes Crayclaw. So this is why we go for early levels. That way we can just start really knocking out bosses quickly. And that's also why you do the early check into Castle Kuza. So because you can find some powerful weaponry or spells in there to assist you in taking down a lot of bosses. So we're going to rest again. There's another meteor over just to the left of Tool. again, resting, saving often. Those are really keys to Final Fantasy V Rando, because there are so many bosses with some nasty gimmicks that you really never know what you're going to run into, and then if you're prepared for it or not. So the party I have is diverse enough that I should be able to handle pretty much any boss, but you know, at this moment, you never know. Shote is one of those nasty bosses that can be a humongous pain to deal with. So we are going to change rows since we got back attacked. And Shote is a pain to deal with because Shote will counter with Petrify. But luckily we find Shote here, and it is a low health spot, so easy to deal with, nasty to run into in the void when you have to manage getting petrified and you have no protection against it. So now we're going to take a stop in the library to get some free healing, and we are going to do Catapult. Now Catapult is where you usually get the airship for the first time. So we will have to go through that little cutscene, and then we will come back for the Meteor that does become accessible here after you complete the Catapult. And there is a little side room down here that has some items. We already rested. Now, the trick to this is there's a lever here. Should I push it? Yes. Okay, and we get some writing on the wall. Look at the flowers in the center of the room. Now, you don't have to go through all of this, but just to show you, just a neat little thing. You know, this is a little bit of a trick that the game played on you. So, check the pot, you know, you gotta check the books, and there's a nice little side quest. And it just tells you to come back here and pull the lever. Now, you can bypass all of that by just, when you go to pull the lever first, just say no, and then say yes. And you don't have to go through the little treasure hunt. But I just thought it was something fun to show off to everybody. Oh right, wrong ship. But yeah, so we're gonna take off in our new airship that we already had, and oh no, we're getting attacked. Guardian. We do have Slash equipped, so this is a good time to use it. And we got lucky. Not all the time will it kill all 4 of them at the same time. Slash can miss. And we got Ifrit's Fire for our troubles. I think I will follow up on that. We'll be in the area, so might as well knock it out. But it's going to be a little bit of a walk. If there are any donations or anything like that, now is a good time.
We'll say the donation train is still parked at the station, so we might want to see about fueling it up with some more donations if folks have the capacity. But I will go ahead and take this time to advertise a couple of our runs coming up soon. The run after this is going to be Goku Black 9974 and Crow, with an exclamation point, running Final Fantasy IV The Lunarian Shuffle Race. And we are going to be switching hosts for that. You're going to get to hear the very dulcet tones of Duchess as the host for that block. The race afterward is going to be an SMZ3 combo randomizer featuring Andy, Ivan, Osei, and Solsky, which I've been told is a just absolute star-studded lineup for that. You've got Tracy M and Apathy Duck on comms for that one. There are some incentives, or at least there's an incentive on that one, which is, well, what we're having to put on the wiki as save or don't save the animals, because Tiltify actually blocks the word kill. So if you donate to that, which, by the way, save is at 115 and don't save is at 30. If you donate to that incentive on Tiltify, don't use the word kill, otherwise Tiltify will block it. Just say don't save the animals, and the folks running this fine marathon will know what to do about that. All donations are going toward a couple of big prizes, the metal or the medium disc plate and the all-day prize, and then the FF Pixel Remaster bundle on Steam. The disc plate is a $25 donation throughout the day, and the Pixel Remaster bundle, you get a chance with a minimum $20 donation. So there are some incentives to donate toward. And also, as a little bit of a note, we have the Overnight Archipelago block as well that has main incentives for the FFR Link to the Past Rando. The Sony Swordless incentive has been met for the Celeste Super Metroid Link to the Past FFR block. Well, that's a mouthful. Anyway, but there's still plenty of stuff to donate toward and plenty of stuff to donate for, so definitely get those donations in, and we appreciate what y'all have done so far.
Alrighty, so looks like we found Leviathan in the basement of the library, but unfortunately that turned out to be not a whole lot of anything. So we're going to continue on, and we're going to check this meteor out and see what boss we have available to us today. Looks like we have a laser beam cannon, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. So we should be coming up soon. We're running out of checks to do. Should be coming up soon on what we're gonna need to progress. Only a couple of checks left to do in World 1, and there's the Walls Tower Keystone. We know that is Path to the Void, so that's where we're gonna head. Now, my guess right now is that this is gonna be the anti-barrier. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Could always be a tablet, but this boss not very powerful, so should be able to one-shot this boss or at least two-shot it. A lot of these items in here are low tier, so I'm not going to bother grabbing them at this point since we're this far into the seed. We've already got quite a bit of good stuff to work with, so there's not a lot that I can miss out on. Might go ahead and just grab this one here, but normally this boss would be Galura, but today it is Liquiflame. Liquiflame, normally the Fire Crystal boss, and I'm sure you're all shocked to know that he is related to the Fire Crystal. Let's see. Anti-barrier. Okay, now we can get into Exdeath's castle. And with our White Mage and Holy, we're gonna make some quick work of Exdeath himself. Not too bad in terms of you know, a little bit of equipment here. So we're gonna go ahead and do some optimization here. Gonna go ahead and throw down another save, and then we're gonna go to World 2. I'm gonna go straight to Exdeath's Castle, because we know that is Path of the Void as well. So there's gonna be a tablet or something that leads to a tablet in there. So we're already going on a strong hint here. There is a little recovery spring here. And so now we're going to go down to the basement. There is a fight down here where you would normally fight one of the many, many times that you fight Gilgamesh. And it is Minotauros. So the gimmick to Minotauros is it is entirely physical boss. You are not even able to cast any magic spells at all. And you just have to brute force the boss. Now, if you're lucky and find Minotauros at a very low level spot, then you may run into a situation where Minotauros, because when Minotauros dies, you will cast Holy on a random party member. But if you're lucky enough, and he's at a low enough level spot, he won't even have the MP to cast it. We'll have to just reconfigure our party to take him on. But we'll just need more physical attackers. Not much else we can do. Now, there is an item called the Mirage Vest that would help in that fight tremendously, since we can't cast anything like Image or anything of that sort. So we're just going to go ahead and reconfigure our party a little bit temporarily. We're going to add another Samurai. And we're just going to keep the White Mage for now, I guess. Should be enough. We were pretty close to killing him. So I'm gonna save here. A little bit of extra oomph is all we need. On 2. And if we're lucky, we do have a wall ring equipped, so if we're lucky, we may even lure him into casting on the person with the wall ring equipped. Only hit defend when I didn't want to. Does give me an idea, actually. There is a little bit of a way that you can exploit how Minotauros and is physical with the Knight ability Guard. If you guard, you take 0 physical damage, and also combined with the Knight ability Cover, you can basically make it so just nobody takes damage. Lucky Sword Dance there. Gotta love those dancing dagger procs. Could be close to death at this point. Luckily, he is picking on the middle butts. And we did get the lucky holy on the one person with the wall ring. Interesting. He does heal. I've actually never seen that. I usually do not deal with reflect, so I guess if it heals him back from death, because when he casts holy, he's supposed to die after casting holy, because but I guess because he absorbs holy, and it's being reflected, it's re-triggering or setting him back into his fight stage. So rip. Submarine key. That's interesting to find. So sub key is probably one of the more important key items. You do get access to quite a bit, or it is. I should say it gives you access in combination with a few other key items to quite a few things. But we're gonna set this job back to Time Mage, and we're gonna put on Slash for now. And then we're gonna cast Float. This will allow us to maneuver around through Excess Castle, through all the poisonous muck, without taking any damage, because if you wade through the muck, it's going to give you... You're going to take constant damage as you walk through it, but with Float, we'll just walk right over it. So there are quite a few checks in here as well. Decent items can be found. So we're going to go ahead and, just wander around, check some chests. Luminous Suit is pretty good to find. Diamond Plate is pretty good to find. Flame Tongue is okay. And there are a couple more bosses to fight in here as well. So Sub-Key could be what was the Path to the Void, or it could be some other things in here. Excess Castle being Path to the Void is usually pretty ambiguous, and it's worth fighting pretty much every boss in here. In either case, whether you know it or not, unless you have, everything you need. And there's another copy of Golem. So we didn't get it the first time around when we accidentally, our Berserker accidentally killed Golem, but now we finally got our second shot at him. So we're gonna save and we're gonna fight. Normally this would be where Carbuncle is. And we have Abductor. So, Abductor is susceptible to instant death, so we're just going to do that. And, of course, always picking on Lena. Every seed, it's either Lena or Ferris that gets picked on. It looks like today is Lena. 4th tablet. Alright, so we found another one of our 4 tablets. We are up to 2. So, that's good. That just gets us a little bit closer to our goal. We can go grab some more stuff out of Castle Kuzar as well. Regardless on if that hint was referring to the 4th tablet or the submarine key, we are going to follow up on that sub key probably at some point. So we do have the Greg 4 fight that's going to be coming up here soon, and then we're going to prepare for the Exdeath fight, and finding a 2nd Sage Staff. That's going to set us up really nicely to fight Exdeath. So we'll be able to have 2 people casting Holy at a pretty high level. This fight, honestly, could be annoying. Oh, right, wall ring. That's not good. This is why I don't deal with wall rings. I always hate using them because I can't buff my party with them. So we're just going to try to kill this boss here. This spot does have quite a bit of health, and may or may not be worth the fight. Antlion's a simple boss to fight, but can do a lot of damage. Will run away after taking enough health to essentially kill it. And we don't have White Mage alive, so... Now it's a race to see who kills who first. Nice dodge. Of course. We were getting close. I'm gonna skip this boss though. You essentially all you can do is just damage it down, which not really interested in dealing with at the moment. We already got what is likely going to be our path to the void. Hopefully we won't have to come back. So I'm going to switch my samurai. Yes, I'm going to switch my samurai to a white mage, and then we're going to give you summon, and then we're going to learn Golem, Show, and Rando's around here somewhere. Might as well get him out my inventory. And then we are going to put you back row. Alright. I don't want the wall ring on. Okay. We're gonna save once again because we got all of our setup and everything done. Alright, so... time to fight the meanest warlock this side of Tycoon, we'll say. Of course, Dynamo. We're gonna haste. We're gonna spend a little bit of time doing some setup. Because we do need to make sure that we are protected from excess wraths, because once you get him low on HP, he will start to go into rage mode, basically. And will, in fact, start casting a spell and doing a melee hit at the same time. So we're just going to try to avoid that as much as we can. And we're going to put ourselves in a position where we have some protections before we lay into them with our two holy casters. Now, I summoned Golem, which will protect us from melee hits for a short amount of time, depending on how much its health calculation. Not exactly sure on the exact calculation, but it will it absorbs so much HP before being expended. So we're pretty much protected up. We're gonna go ahead and row back, shell you. Put shell back on you. And re-haste you. We should be good to open up. Exdeath is weak to Holy, and with the Stage Staff in hand, we're going to do some big damage. And when we've got some supplemental damage, Comet is RNG based. You will get a certain amount of damage between like 1 and somewhere in the 2000s, basically. And yeah, that's a lot of damage, 7,200. So at this point, Exdeath is going to be very angry with us, so we're going to have to kill him soon so that he does not kill us. But luckily, we're doing so much damage then that's not going to be an issue. And down goes Exdeath 1. Alright, we now have access to World 3. So I'm going to use the Warp Shard to kind of fix the world here, and warp to World 3. And since we got that 4th tablet and we start by Kuza Castle, we're going to go ahead and grab a few more things that we didn't before. There are a couple other things that I really do want in here, but most of the rest of it is something I can pass on, so this may be the last trip we have here. We want summon level 5. That will allow us to cast any summon. Time level 6 we can pass on. X magic, we will take that. And then the only other thing here I think I'll take is Magic Sword 6. Don't really need it, but just in case I find like Flare Sword somewhere else. I may not be back here. The rest of this stuff is okay, but not the most exciting stuff in the world. We got all the good stuff pretty much out of there. Alright, so let me sort that. Which page did we get? Shrine page. So we're gonna go to the shrine and check that out. And as you can see here, this is the Void. We can actually enter it now. However, we won't be able to progress to the final boss until we get all 4 tablets. There are checkpoints throughout the Void that having a number of tablets will allow you to bypass. And very simple boss here. We may even do 10,000 damage before we even get to instant kill it. Each one of these gargoyle spots at each shrine will have about 10,000 health. So none of these bosses are that challenging. Sometimes they can be if they're a rude boss, but usually with such low amount of health, once you get to World 3, it's not that big of an issue. Aegis Shield, that's a very, very good find. We're going to equip that right away. Aegis Shield is the best shield in the game. Simply for the fact that it protects against Petrify and can block spells. The ability to block spells is incredibly useful. And very desirable to have the added bonus of the fact that it can protect against Petrify. You know, we'll take that too. The shrine has 3 monster in a box fights, so this is one of them. We're just gonna have to kind of deal with this one, but we may get a good reward here. None of these are too terrible to deal with. It's just a matter of kind of get you hasted. I say that, but Pantera is probably the worst to deal with. So it's also one of the rarest. That way we can protect people low health and take 0 damage. As you can see, that's the combination of guard and the protect ability. But this fight may not work out well for us. We'll see. I'm just going to summon Golem for the protection. That way we don't need to guard anymore. Blaster will be the threat here. So we're going to need to guess which one of these is the real one. And we found it. So we're gonna hope to kill this before Golem runs out. With Holy, we're doing quite a bit of damage. These are pretty much like normal monster fights, but they are high level, so well, let's hope for the best. Comet. We're gonna skip that one. Pantera's a bit rough for us right now. Let me think here. Oops, ran into the void. That happens sometimes, so might as well take a look, take a little peek around, see if we find any good items at the beginning here. There are quite a few checks you can do pretty quickly. Sometimes taking a quick jump in here could be useful. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we got white level 6 for free, big guard, flame ring. Oh, and white level 5. Big guard is a great spell, casts armor, protect, and float on you. So very nice, nice to have. 25,000 gil is also very nice to have. We do have one tablet, so we can dive a little deeper. We do know that also the Mirage Radar is in World 3, so we may do a few World 3 checks. There's a couple of spots that we have access to easily right now, besides Shrine. But I'm gonna go ahead and just rob this place for what it's worth. If there are any donations or anything else, just gonna be wandering around through here collecting some stuff.
Alrighty. Oh, the donation train is still sitting at the station, but I did want to add that we actually have added another incentive. We've got plenty of incentives on offer as far as donations go. The SMZ3 combo rando, you can choose to save or not save the animals. Save is winning by a pretty good bit right now, by $85. You have the choice to name Danny's Black Mage in the FFR Z3 rando. That's going to start the Archipelago block tonight. Right now, the leading name is Glitch with $10. Let's see, other ones that are open. We do have a naming incentive for Ben in Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer. That's going to start tomorrow's runs. The current name that's winning is Liam with $80. You can also choose which character to finish with, Ruben 2, Phoebe 2, or Kaylee 2. Kaylee 2 is the only one with money right now and has $150, so that's going to be a tough one to top. We also have the name for Will Bloodworth's Thief during the FFR Mystery Race. Vorpal, or VRPL, is winning with $60 right now. The new one that was added in is actually going to be for the second Time Spinner randomizer. That is going to be one of the final events of the marathon tomorrow night. The incentive that was added in was to turn on Boss Shuffle in the Time Spinner randomizer. That is out of $75. So if you want to give to an incentive that's coming up, that one just opened up. So start throwing the money that way. And of course, thank you for everything that y'all donated so far.
All right, so we are now in the Sunken Walls Tower. This is normally where you would find Gogo. However, we found Titan here. Not too bad to deal with, however, can be a little bit difficult without the right setup. Luckily, we have our Time Mage and we have Float available to us. So that's going to make dealing with Titan much easier. We will have to kind of brute force and damage him down, but shouldn't be too bad with our two holy users. If game lag doesn't kill us with the timer, but we're just gonna brute force this one. Not too much you can do to, not too many gimmicks you can do. Titan you can paralyze, but we don't have a way to do that. So it's just a matter of swinging away with your spells and your swords. We are on a timer. If we do not kill him before the timer ends, it will immediately cause a game over. So we have, but we do have plenty of time. We just do a golem check here. Yep, golem did run out. You can tell basically if golem ran out or not by the fact that the animation will fail if golem is still active on your party. So if you do know the calculation on how much HP, that is another way to tell, because it should be predictable on how much damage golem will block before expiring. So I use the method of just guess and check. With haste and everything, though, we should be able to beat the timer by quite a bit. So we should be fine here, because all Titan does is physical attacks and Earthshaker. And with Earthshaker, that can be entirely avoided by just casting Float. And he will cast Earthshaker one last time upon death, but again, with Float, it will do no damage to us, cannot hit us.
Can I jump in for a couple of notes real quick?
Sure.
All right, so first off, thank you to Francois Harpy for the raid. Welcome everybody to the FFR Rando Marathon, supporting the Liam Foundation. And I also want to add a $25 donation from Lord Fizzleby, saying put this toward the Time Spinner boss shuffle. So thank you very much, Fizzle. We appreciate it greatly. We appreciate y'all raiding, and welcome in.
Alrighty. And we did manage to beat Titan with quite a bunch of time to spare. And we're rewarded with the Moogle suit. Now that is a fantastic find because Moogle suit is the bonanza of items that Final Fantasy V has. There are two places that are big hype when it comes to getting good items. That would be Mirage Radar to get into Mirage Village, and then there's the Moogle suit, which allows you access to Moogle Village, which is where we're headed now. No key items will be found here. However, I always seem to misplace the entrance. Hold on, it's somewhere around here. There it is. Walk past it. I can never remember where that entrance is. It's somewhere in the forest. Too many trees.
Yeah. I always have a hard time finding it as well.
Oh yeah, we need to put the Moogle suit on first. So yeah, this is what the Moogle suit does. It allows you to talk with the Moogles. They'll trust you and give you free items. In this one, even gives it to you out of pure love. So, you know. And here's our bonanza. Let's see what we get. We got Quick Time Magic, Assassin Dagger, Staff of Judgment, Doom Black Magic, Diamond Plate, and Angel Suit. Overall, not the most exciting thing, but we also get a note for weakness to one of the super bosses at the end of the game in the Void, Shinryu. Shinryu and Omega have randomized weaknesses. So in this case today we have a weakness of lightning and for status paralyzed. So Shinryu can be paralyzed. If you were to want to fight either of those super bosses, those hints can be very, very helpful for preparation. However, I am not planning on fighting those. We will have, as per our incentive though, we will get to see the portal boss, which I will explain later on when we get to that. Right now I'm a little mentally lost. I'm trying to get to the submarine. There we go. And we're gonna check the barrier tower over here. Since we are already in World 2, and might as well. So normally this is where you would, quote-unquote, get the anti-barrier, but you lead an assault on the barrier tower to bring down the barrier of XX Castle. So we're going to go upstairs, and we're going to start climbing. There are 4 chests in here, 2 of them are trapped. So, we're just gonna get some items here. Now, let's see here. We do have probably a good enough damage profile to go back and do a couple of other things as well. Alright. The one thing that I really wish I did have, which I might skip the rest of these chests, I will indeed just go and tent up and not waste too much time in here, because I do not have any cure spells at the moment. So kind of having to deal with a little bit of a, you know, a little rough setup in terms of restoring health. So we're just gonna get to this save point. We're gonna use a tent, and we're just gonna do this boss. Not too worried about any items that are in here, but potential, and they have the potential to be good. But we've already got pretty much most of what we need for the end game anyway, in terms of items. Oh, lovely. One of the most favorite runner bosses in the game, Sandworm. So Sandworm will do this where it just pops in and out of different holes in the ground, and if you hit one of the holes, Sandworm will counter with a gravity spell, depending on the level of spot that you find it at. May cast Demi or Quarter. But given that this doesn't have the highest HP spot, shouldn't be too big of a deal. But it really is annoying because Sandworm will change positions on you often and troll you constantly.
While Sandworm is working his trolley magic, mind if I jump in with another donation?
Sure.
All right, Dangwoo with $50 saying, all right, Fizzle, let's get this time spinner incentive activated. And with that, so it is. So a apparently very new incentive for time spinner, Boss Shuffle, has been activated for the second time spinner run that we will be seeing tomorrow. So good job, everybody. That is good to go, but keep on donating because we'd love to take this as far as we can.
And now you're about to see why it's everybody's favorite boss. I had targeted them with Holy before, and Sandworm just decided, nope, I'm moving to a different spot now. Which is why you see me kind of waiting for Sandworm to... trying to wait for Sandworm to act before casting spells and making attacks. Because the timer is random, and when it's going to change positions, it could change really quickly, it could change after a while. You never know when, but you just know it's going to happen, and you know you're going to miss at least once. Alright, Sandworm down. Pyramid page. Okay. So that's another World 3 check, and we'll go ahead and just do that. Actually, let's heal up a bit. Pyramid is probably one of the most item-dense locations in the game in terms of equipment. So it's a relatively good place to check. There are some trap chests in there as well, but none of those enemies in there are too difficult to deal with in terms of the trap chests. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna have some fun. Get some nice items. Here we have Marigine. The gimmick to Marigine is normally you have to play the game with barrier change. This is the game's barrier change boss. You know, elemental magic, fire, ice. You know, and as you can see, Holy does not work. Now we're just gonna have to brute force it. You know, Ferris should be able to deal with it pretty well. Again, these spots only have 10,000 HP, so it's only a few. Comet should work as well. So we're pretty much gonna sit here and wait for that to happen. We do not have the appropriate level of time magic for Lena, unfortunately. Ferris is our hope, so I'm gonna throw Shell on her. And everybody but Ferris is dead. But one more hit should do it, I think, if my mental math is correct. Of course I miss. And of course that happens, but we know what we need to do now. So we're going to reconfigure our party a little bit, make it a little bit more balanced. Let's see. I want to give you let's give you yeah, let's give you time magic, but we're gonna change you to samurai. Get another physical attacker in there, and we should be good now. Normally her defense is really high, and even physical attacks may not work, but in this spot her defense is not as high, so physical attacks will work on her this time around. X-Fight and Samurai are one of the better combinations, given that Samurai do get to get that chance to crit with katanas. Well, not just Samurai, but just katanas in general, you know, have the chance to crit, which is very nice. Samurai, the job able to wield them innately. Alright, and we have completed that. So now we can get access to the pyramid. Now, again, as I said, there are many, many checks in here for items. So we're going to be going through and getting on, hopefully, a lot of good stuff. And there will be a boss at the end of this ride. Also, switching back to Samurai. Just being able to master that job, just in case we do get Freelancer. Freelancer is one of the better jobs in the game, but only if you master other jobs. Freelancer will take the stats from your mastered jobs, and you will be able to kind of stack stats in a way if you master several different jobs. So you can do it with like physical characters, then get a bunch of health. These are easy to deal with. You can just throw a soft at these statues, and it will instantly kill them. Well, I shouldn't say instantly, since the interesting thing, and fun fact about this one, there is a feature in the randomizer for weapon randomization, where weapons will get a random attribute, and the interesting part is, when you use a soft on these guys, they actually cast a spell to kill themselves called Darkness. So where does weapon rando come into play? Well, flails get each different weapon type will get a certain type of attribute, and in this case, flails get monster skills and abilities. And one of those skills and abilities can be Darkness, the spell that those statues were using, casting on themselves to kill themselves in reaction to the soft. Why is this important? Well, Darkness bypasses the heavy status, which is usually what determines if a boss can be killed by instant KO spells. So if you get a Darkness Flail, it can kill literally anything in the game in one hit, including Exdeath and Neo Exdeath. It will just kill any boss in the game in one hit, but it is a random chance for it to proc. So very overpowered if you do happen to get that in a weapon rando seed. So there are a lot of different puzzles to play around with in the pyramid, and a lot of different little chests here and there to find, as you can see. So we're gonna head in here, grab these 4 chests, and then we're gonna fall down. Running shoes is a good find. That will auto cast haste, and we're gonna just jump down here, grab this chest here. We got Guild Toss, not that we didn't have that already, but now it's learned for everybody in case nobody else learned it. Let's do a Guild Toss. Just get rid of that stuff. We don't really have a lot of strong AoE abilities. So we may get a Dragon Fang off of this, which will be nice and helpful. Calcan Dagger. Alright. Almost done with the pyramid, moving to the last section here. This is a nice little puzzle room. If you gotta stay on the solid paths, because you can fall down, and then if you fall down, oh no, what happened? Yep, there are items down here, so you do want to fall down here as well, at least once. Oops. And this should be the last monster in a box. So we've got all the monster in boxes taken care of. And we found the chicken knife. Chicken knife is also one of the most powerful items in the game. Normally in the vanilla game, you have to power up the chicken knife by running away from, I forget how many battles, but it is quite a lot. And the more you run away, the more damage the chicken knife does. However, in the randomizer, it is set by default to the max value. So, it will always have the highest attack power available, which makes it, in the rando, one of the best items in the, one of the best weapons in the game. And missed input. We got another Sage Staff. So we can just have a team of white mages casting Holy. So, not a bad boss, but also can be quite dangerous. Don't think I'm going to make it through this fight. I kind of need Golem for this fight, and I took off the summon ability. So, unfortunately, we're gonna die here. But, we'll come back to this one. Lobos is susceptible to thunder, so I don't believe we have anything really that amazing for thunder damage, but we will check and see. We're gonna have to reconfigure the party a bit and everything, but I still think it's something we can get done. So, we're going to go back, collect all of our valuables that we collected on the way, and do some swapping around with jobs so that we can get Carlobos taken care of. In the meantime, again, what we're looking for is tablets. We have 2 out of 4, so we're looking for 2 more. There are 5 more hints in World 3, however, we do not have access to any of them at this moment because we would need the Trench page or the Mirage Radar, which could be in here. So it's ideally we would want to find the Mirage Radar to get at least 2 more hints, and then from there we can try to see if we have any more stronger ideas on where the last 2 tablets are. Oh, talking endgame. The endgame is going to be fighting Neo Exdeath, or you can also alternatively fight the Portal Boss. The Portal Boss is a custom boss designed by Clear Tonic. There are a few different ones, and they are designed to be about the same difficulty as Neo Exdeath. However, the thing about Neo Exdeath is Neo Exdeath has a lot of ways to cheese the fight. The Portal Bosses, while there may be some ways to cheese the fight a little bit, none are as bad as what you can do against Neo Exdeath. It's meant to be a fight more so on the level of if you fought Neo Exdeath fairly. So Neo Exdeath can be challenging if you fight fair. However, most runners will just cheese it. Alright, so we're gonna reconfigure our party here to try to do the best damage that we can. Alright, let's see here. Do we have flare? We do. Alright. So actually we want you to have summon, and then I want you to have X magic. We're going to equip the gold pin on the black mage. Gold pin will half the cost, MP cost of any spells. And then, let's see here. Gonna give you X magic. And then who has the running shoes? Give the running shoes to... Actually, no, not the black mage. We want to give the running shoes to Time Mage. Time Mage is going to have the summon and will be able to cast Golem and start casting haste on everybody, so we want to have that going, and then everything else, Knight. I think we're good. I think we're set. As long as we can get Golem off, we should be fine. So now we just start blasting. Double flare, double holy should make quick work of this boss here. Each of these bosses have somewhere in the ballpark of about 30,000 health, so that's kind of just to give you an idea of how much damage we need to do. Or 30 to 50 or something like that. So we're just gonna keep wailing away, and Carlibos with since we have Golem up, shouldn't be able to do a whole lot. Can still be a little bit threatening, but Golem takes care of most of the problems with this fight, since Carlibos mostly does physical melee attacks. And down they go. Sandworm bait. Well, from one desert to another. Let's head out.
I was going to say, technically, from one desert to the same desert, just in another world.
Indeed. So we were just at this desert, except now there's a shifting sands here. So, you know, we're gonna just quickly deal with this boss. Since we got the key item, might as well follow up on it. And it's Magisa. Easily dealt with in many ways, but so here we are with the first time Lena gets poisoned. So the Magisa fight will always give Lena starting out with the poison status, and that's why sometimes there's a meme of how many times Lena gets poisoned. Alright, so that was nothing. What else can we do? Let's do Shiva. We'll do the Shiva fight. We do know that there's a bunch of key items in World 3, so maybe prudent to just go back there right away after this, but figure I might as well wrap up I think one of the last World 1 fights that I have. I believe I've done everything else. So since we're in World 1, might as well finish it out. This is normally where you fight Shiva and obtain the Shiva Esper. But today we're going to be fighting Apocalypse. It's unfortunate that I do not have the blue magic spell Exploder. So, interesting thing about Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a blue mage, and loves learning new spells. So you can teach Apocalypse a brand new spell called Exploder. What Exploder does is it's essentially self-destruct. So what happens is you get a blue mage in your party, or someone with the blue command, to cast Exploder, and you'll get the text that Apocalypse learned Exploder. And then Apocalypse will be so excited that you taught him a new spell, he will use it on you. Self-destructing, and you win the fight. It's a very neat trick to play on him. So, back to World 3. Let's keep digging World 3. There's a lot to follow up on. So, let's go with we'll go with the Chocobo spot, the Antlion spot. So we're gonna get our friend Chocobo here. And we're gonna just go on a little world trip here. So enjoy the Chocobo theme. This is one of the few times you do hear it in the game. As Chocobo travel in the randomizer is limited to basically just this check and one other check. Oh, there is the black Chocobo that will fly you up to North Mountain for the Bahamut spot as well. Gilgamesh won. Very, very easy fight. This is the first fight of Gilgamesh. Once he gets below a certain percentage of health, he will run away. And in a lot of cases, in many cases, he'll already be below that threshold when you fight him in the lower level spots. So all you gotta do is tap him once, and then it'll trigger the I gotta go. This is a low health low health spot, so we only needed to do a little bit of damage to him, and then he's like, I'm out of here. All right, Elder Branch. So that's always a fun one. But we're gonna take our Chocobo, and we're gonna go a little bit farther on our world tour. We're gonna check one of the spots that you can only check with Chocobo, and that is the waterfall, the top of the waterfall. Normally magic lamp up here, but today it's gonna be Elf Cape. Elf Cape is not a bad item, but now let's follow up on that Elder Branch. Now, that does open up the possibility of Fork Tower at this point. So, Joy of Joys, we may have to deal with that. I'm not sure if there are any actual items in here. I'll have to... I'm looking for some consumables here. I don't think there were any. So we're just gonna hit the inn. Take a sleep. I would like to stock up a little bit on some consumables, but we can do that in World 1. That's fine. So now to hear the pleasant tones of the forest theme. Nice, soothing, I'm not sure what kind of tune this would be. Not a waltz. Not a musician, so probably some kind of term that you can use to define this type of music, but nice, calming, relaxing music. Grab some extra chests while we're here. White level 4. We've already got so much in terms of white magic that we're not really worried about it. And now the forest is burned down. So gonna grab some extra chests here. And now we fight where usually you would fight guardians. We've already fought them, so it's not going to be them here today. However, we still have many unpleasant bosses to deal with. So we could be in for a surprise. Odin. We have the means to deal with that. Uh, let me haste. Good block, good block. And Break Blade just makes quick work of Odin. The Hear You call also is with deep regrets that I have to say that Galuf has left us. Rest in peace, Galuf. Or in this case, Fizzle. But Fizzle's back. And so Here You call, same is World 2, so we're just gonna exit and we're gonna take a quick nap at the inn at this castle. And then we're gonna go do the Zeza Fleet fight. Alrighty. I may have landed the airship in the wrong spot. I believe maybe I just need to use the Crisp Warp Shard since I was in World 2. Because I'm looking to make the Hear You show up. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go over to the Zeza Fleet fight. You do need the Hear You to land on the ship. So we're just going to fly over here and we are going to go attack Barrier Tower. But not really. So we're gonna go below deck and might as well take a rest. Catch some Z's. Nothing's going on, you know, whatever. Oh wait, what's happening? Like we're under attack. So you don't have to fight these two. This guy will block your way, so you do gotta fight this goblin. But these goblins are very easy to deal with. Very low health. And not threatening at all. And here's our boss. And it is Ouroboros. Now, how do I want to deal with this? So, the gimmick to this boss is, if you don't kill them all at the same time, and there's differences on how you kill them, they'll start resurrecting each other. And you either just have to cycle through all of their MP, or there are ways that you can try to bypass it. They are susceptible to pretty much everything in terms of instant death and all that. So, we're going to mute them so they can't cast Life 2. And we're just going to start knocking them off one by one. Hopefully, we can do this fast enough before the mute wears off. And they can cast Life 2 from beyond the grave, which is why we are wanting to mute them first. So now we're just gonna cast Doom and Doom. And one left to go. See, this is the magic of Final Fantasy V randomizer. Learning how to deal with bosses in alternative ways other than just damaging them down. And it looks like I have wasted my time on this chain. That's fine. Let's see. What else can we do here? Well, seems like we're circling back to World 3 yet again. And I guess it's time to go to Fork Tower, unfortunately. We do have Shrine that we could check, but I know it, you know it, we know it. It's going to be a Fork Tower requirement. Alright, so the deal with Fork Tower. We have to split the party. And you know how that goes. You should never split the party. But today we have to. So, let me think. Okay, so... Black Mage. White Mage. Time. Go with you over here. I'm just going with the setup that I have right now. So the annoying part about Fork Tower is not necessarily that you have to split the party. It's the fact that you have to deal with bosses. You don't know which boss is there. So you don't know what setup you need to bring. And having only 2 party members to deal with it limits your options. And then you only fight each boss one at a time, obviously. So you have to beat the first boss to know what the second boss is. So Fork Tower you can spend a lot of time here in trial and error sometimes. But sometimes you do get lucky and the bosses are easy to deal with and you just move straight on real quick. So, we'll see what bosses we get here. I believe we've done a lot of the brute force required bosses. There is one that I can think of left, which is Leviathan. Which we have 2 coral rings, I believe. So Leviathan will not be too bad because coral rings will absorb tidal wave. So if we do need to restart, we'll at least be able to figure out how to deal with Leviathan. And it is Gilgamesh 4. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Let's see, image. Oh, come on. Of course, he killed the person right before I was about to cast image. Get a Maiden's Kiss going. as you can see, Image will cause physical attacks to miss. And we're just going to go ahead and keep casting Holy until Exdeath, or not Exdeath, Greg starts his whole spiel with Exdeath and arguments and all that stuff. We're likely going to hit the cutscene. So, you know, I'm not expecting to kill Gilgamesh before it triggers the argument between him and between him and Exdeath. So we're likely going to hit some nice little wait time. As you can see, Grade 4 loves to talk. We're about to hit Gilgamesh change here. So that's pretty much the end of the fight. He is no longer a threat. Despite how menacing Gilgamesh may look, he has what he thinks is the strongest sword, but yeah, he apparently got the dollar store version of Excalibur. It is comes with foam padding too, so. We may be able to beat the cutscene. We're getting close. Well, looks like we have one holy left. Not enough MP. And now Exdeath is mad. So at this point, we're just gonna wait for Exdeath to finish yelling at Gilgamesh here. So you got any donations? It's a good time.
Well, as we see, Gilgy 4 exiled to the cleft of dimension in which he was already located in the game, which is kind of weird. But no donations right now. I just wanted to say welcome everybody to the FFR Rando Marathon. For those of you just joining us, we are taking donations for the Liam Foundation, an LGBTQIA+ organization based out of Rockford, Illinois, whose mission is to encourage, assist, heal, and empower the LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. The community here has been amazing with it so far, as you see, raising close to $2,500, and which is almost 5 times what our initial goal was. So everybody has been absolutely fantastic. You can find all the links to the schedules, to incentives and everything. We can put that in the chat for you. to be able to look at everything that is available. There are still some things that you can donate for. There are prizes you can donate for. There are incentives you can donate toward. So everything should be good to go on that. And you guys can keep supporting the marathon. Anybody who donates, watches, signal boosts, all of it are greatly appreciated, as is everyone in the chat right now. So thank you very much. And I'm sorry about a panda.
Yeah, but that is the that's the mystique of Fork Tower. You never know what you're gonna get, and then you get something like that where your party is not correctly set up to deal with something like that. The lack of healing spells in my arsenal is quite the drawback. So we're gonna take a look in the shop here real quick. But we did find the Mirage Radar. We know where that's at. We may just check the shrine and come back to Fork Tower. We at least know one of the items. So let's see. All right, so we're gonna go back to Shrine, and we're gonna take care of that first, so that we can at least make some progress without having to beat our heads against the wall and against a panda. I don't really have any fire spells per se. So a panda may be a little bit difficult to deal with. If I had Ifrit, interestingly enough, a panda might be easily doable, because when you summon Ifrit against a panda, he will cower in fear and waste turns casting medicine on himself to fix his fear of Ifrit. So we're just gonna blast through this. I'm not gonna check really any of the chests in here. We're just gonna go straight to the boss. We really don't need much. As I said, healing spells would be desirable, but at the same time, having to deal with the monster in box is not worth the effort. And I hit the wrong switch. I always get these mixed up. It's either the left first or the right first, and I always pick the right for some reason. Maybe because I'm right-handed.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Whenever I'm in here, I can never remember what order I'm supposed to hit things.
So this place is kind of a piece of cake to walk through. You know, you just kind of run straight to the back. So we're gonna kill this boss. Hopefully we get at least a tablet. But what we really want is probably the steamship key, because it may lead us to more tablets. We're gonna use Break Blade here. Some of the challenges, remembering what every boss is susceptible to. I could just use Shroud. because some of these things can really shorten your playtime. Putting in work, double casted holy, double casted fire, or flare. Always a fun time. Also, could have a item in Excess Castle. Now that I remember, we did pass up one check over there. Could be something important that I walked past, but we got trench page out of that, so we can go check the trench. There's 3 hints down there, and a boss check. So let's get out of here and go over there. Let's go fly over there. And let's go take a dip in the pool. Hit the submarine. And you find this scar over here. And now we're in the trench. Now we pass these gargoyle bosses. Oh, of course, it's our lovely friend Stalker. Stalker is a very annoying boss. He has 3 images with him, and it always shifts around, so you gotta kind of try to figure out which one's which. But with our X-Magic casters, we'll at least get to do, if we do hit the right one, we'll get to do quite a bit of damage all at once. As you can see, we've done, we did about 5,000 damage there. Let's see if I guess right this time. Luckily, Stalker is here, though, because this is quite a big pain to deal with at higher level areas. So that'll be the end of Stalker, and now all of his images will realize, oh, boss is dead. I guess I better die too. Also, rest in peace to the other party members while we were waiting for them to die. So, what I want to do is cast Float on the existing party members we have, so that when we're walking through here, we the don't take any damage. But we're gonna grab some of the chests here because these are free. And then there's a little dwarf village at the end of this tunnel that we're gonna get some hints, and we can even check out some shops. So, where are the last tablets that we're looking for? Probably Fork Tower and Excess Castle. That would be my guess. Knowing my luck. The two checks that I left behind. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so here's our shop. None of that is really worthwhile, and none of that is either. Usually there's some decent stuff there, but today, not. Exdeath's Castle holds the sub key. Knew that already. Sandworm Bait and Walls Tower. Alright, great. Hints for everything we knew. So we're going to tent up, and we're going to cast Float on everybody and save. That is a spot where you recharge the magic lamp. So if you ever get the magic lamp, what it does is it casts each summon in order of essentially strength, in descending order. So it starts with Bahamut and ends with Sylph or Remora. I forget what the weakest one is. But you can recharge it at a couple of spots at the waterfall and here. I'm just gonna cast Golem for reasons, but this is not a great setup for me. I guess we'll start by casting Shell, because Ferris is the one that's going to have to do the work here with these barriers. Haste you. And get some shells up on the other party members. Once we start getting barriers down, it'll be easier. Alright, so this first barrier should die pretty shortly. Obviously, that's one of the interesting things about Chicken Knife is that sometimes it does try to force you to run from battle. Since this is a boss fight, that's not going to happen. But nonetheless, funny little interaction. Let's see. So we're just gonna beat up the barriers until they go down, and then we'll be able to really open up on Necrophobe. Because at this point, most of our party is fairly useless. Since we're relying on casters and they have Reflect up and we don't have Reflect ourselves. So it's just going to be a slow and tedious slog. I mean, we could cast Comet, but we're also not guaranteed that that's going to do much damage. The Chicken Knife is pretty powerful, so may want to just... Oops. Targeted Necrophobe himself on accident. I'm actually going to put Kryl in the front row to do the extra damage. The good news is, you know, Shell helping us out a lot here. So, because we don't have like any healing at all, so these spells would eventually chip us away. But luckily we have got a Shell up, so they're only doing a little bit of damage at a time, which is fine by me, you know. So one more to go. This next round should kill them. If I don't get the proc. Slow and steady wins the race. Oops, I passed on the wrong person. Now, there's an interesting interaction where if you don't kill, or if you kill Greg 4 that you're about to see, he will come and help out in this fight. So we're gonna expect Greg 4 to show up when he since he got exiled to the Cleft of Dimension. It'll be a fun little sight to see. So now we're gonna start laying into Necrophobe. But looks like Alistair is reaching the end of the line here, so we'll be fighting Neo Exdeath soon. So we're gonna take a peek over at Alistair's screen, and I'll give you the 411 on what we're looking at for the end game here. So Alistair approaching Neo Exdeath here is going to get started on the tree himself. Give me just one moment here. So Alistair is going to set up a lot of defensives at the start here. They're going to throw up Golem and put up Life Shield. Life Shield is going to protect from Tree Exdeath's ability, White Hole, which inflicts instant KO and Petrify. And then from there is going to start powering up levels. Looks like they are set up to do the Guild Toss strat. I mean, we started with the Samurai job, so it was only natural that we follow up with the Guild Toss strat. So has a couple of Dragon Fanes. Going to use Dragon Power to boost levels as well. That's 20 levels per mix. So Revivify Antidote is Samson Power. That's 10 levels per mix. So Alistair is going to power up to level 99 on all of his characters here before he starts Guild Tossing. Reason being is if you damage Tree Exdeath too much, he'll start casting high level spells, and then you'll have to deal with a lot. So you just start powering up early on when Tree Exdeath doesn't do anything but cast pretty much White Hole and do physical abilities, so that once you start throwing money at your problems, there's maybe a small window where he could cast maybe one Comet or Meteor, but looks like Alistair is committing to the Guild Toss. So now we get to start seeing how you can just throw all of your money throw money at your problems at the end of the game, and it just works out that way. So just a few quick Guild Tosses, and that's the end of Tree Exdeath. Now villain monologuing, contemplation of what is void, what is life, what is the purpose of everything. You know how villains do. But guess what? That's not the end. We got a little bit more to go. And here comes Neo Exdeath. Now, this is where the Guild Toss strat actually really pays off. Because Neo Exdeath is comprised of 4 parts. So Guild Toss is an AoE attack. So basically Alistair is going to start throwing Gil at Neo Exdeath here, and we'll be doing in excess of 9,000 damage on each throw. So we'll basically be taking down these parts. They have around 50,000 health each. Some have 55. But relatively all about around the 50,000 mark. So we'll see a few quick guild tosses here, and we're gonna knock out most of the parts. You usually will miss one of them, and that should be the end there, and that's the end of Neo Exdeath. Now we have one step left to do. Alistair is going to reset for us and head on back to where the end game is, but instead is going to fight the portal boss. Now the portal boss, again, is an optional boss, and you can alternatively use it to kill that instead of Neo Exdeath if you would prefer, especially even in any standard race setting. If you would prefer to kill the portal boss over Neo Exdeath, it is a valid way to end the game. However, the portal bosses are a little bit more difficult. They're because we can't just throw money at our problems all the time. The guild toss strat would work in theory, but the portal bosses aren't as nice and give you time to set up your party so that you can do something like that. There's one of the portal bosses is called Rain Senshi, and will open up with Thunderstorm, and the hardest part about Rain Senshi is surviving the opener. So the money strats could in theory work, but you just don't have the nice setup time that Tree Exdeath gives you, as opposed to all the portal bosses. They're gonna immediately start attacking you with whatever they got. There's no waiting and a nice little setup period where you get to do whatever you want while they just sit there and do basically nothing. So we're about to see which portal boss that we get. Portal bosses are random by design, but you can also assign a specific one if you would prefer in the seed generation settings. And every now and then, Clear will develop a new portal boss, but not all the time. There's no specific time frame on when new ones do get developed. It's kind of at a kind of a when new ideas hit them kind of deal. But here we go, and this is Rain Senshi. So as you can see, he's very rude on the opener. Immediately kills someone and casts Thunderstorm. So that is probably one of the more difficult parts about Rain Senshi, is just being able to survive that opener. Rain Senshi is actually one of the easier bosses if you can survive the opener. Big Guard is a huge component of doing this fight well. So other than that though, once you get set up and you have your defenses ready to go, he's pretty manageable. He is fast, which is why it's so important to try to get your defenses up as fast as possible, because once you do that, it's pretty much tank and spank, as they say. But yeah, so at this point, you know, Alistair's gonna start hammering away, and there's a double thunderstorm, so there, and Butts went to sleep, so that's the end of that attempt. Yeah, so the portal bosses are a little bit more challenging, but hopefully, you enjoyed the seed, the randomizer. So I'm glad everybody came out to watch this marathon, not just for the Final Fantasy V Career Day randomizer, but also because it's for a good cause. So yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions, we do have a Discord, and everybody over there is willing to help out and help any new runners try the game out.
Yeah, well, definitely. Thank you both to Jetters and Alistair for bringing us the Career Day randomizer. It was a lot of fun, even though Rain Senshi be Rain Senshi. Oi. Anyway, so yeah, we are moving on to Final Fantasy IV, the Lunarian Shuffle, a race between Goku Black 9974 and Crow. And so we're going to get that set up. I am going to pass the host torch over to Duchess for Kayasama. So yeah, if y'all thought my voice was good, oh, Duchess has got me beat for miles. So y'all have fun with that. We are also, I think, going to trade restreamers as well. So it might be getting ready for just a few moments, but we will have y'all back up and ready to go with Lunarian Shuffle. So I'm going to end my hosting run. It's been fantastic. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and I'll be around for the rest of the weekend as well.